Hey friends, Amanda here at Bare Bones Living, and I am outside in my garden. Welcome. This is my patio garden, and this patio garden is the only garden that I really plan on growing in this year. I do have garlic growing in my back gardens, but I planted that last year, and that's just, it's a big garden, and that's just where that ended up going. But what I'm going to be doing today is I am going to be transplanting my onions into my garden bed. And these are short day onions. And what that means is that they are just a shorter to maturity, shorter to harvest, fewer days to harvest onion. So that is why I'm actually planting them in this garden bed. I believe that they're either like a 45 or a 60 day onion, which means 45 or 60, whichever one it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. From today, from the day that you transplant your plant out into your garden, that's the days to maturity. So on the back of the seed packet it says days to maturity. That number starts the day that you transplant it into its forever home. Not from the day that you start the seed, if you didn't already know that. But these are Pompeii onions, and I got these because they were a short day variety, and they would do good in containers. Although I'm not going to be growing them in containers. I could if I wanted to. And I could, because they're such a short day, I can sow more of these. I could start some more and grow them in a container and take them with me if I wanted to, or just wait until I move and start some more there. I could have multiple sowings of these because they do take such a short time to maturity. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be planting these, and I'm going to be cluster planting them, meaning I'm not just going to put one onion plant in by itself. I'm going to put like 3 or 4 plants in together so that they can grow up together and help each other grow. With the help of the support of its companion that it's planted with, it will grow better, stronger, a better, stronger onion. So I've not grown onions in clusters before, but you can do that with radishes and beets and all sorts of things. Planting them in clusters is supposed to help them. So I'm going to do that today, and then I'm also going to be putting up a row cover over these because where it's nice and sunny and 46 degrees right now, we're still not out of our frost, our fear of frost. Actually, next week we're still going to be dropping down below in the low 30s. So I want to have a frost fabric on my onions. I've also had a lot of pest pressure this year already, and I had bunnies come in and take out most of my peas. So I want to protect it from the squirrels and bunnies. And then lastly, my pesky puppy that is running around trying to play with me while I'm outside and eating things and hacking all over the place. So I'm going to be planting those and then protecting those, and let's get this going. So you will see that in my garden bed here, I just created a couple of rows that I'll be planting my onions into. This, by the way, is the container that I used to be using. Those squares that I was telling you about when I was planting out my summer crops. This is what I've usually been putting all my seeds into, but then you gotta like dig them out, and it works well for the onions, but it's kind of a hassle. Anyway, so I just created some trenches here, and then I'll pull out a cluster here and we will, this looks like just 2, but that's okay. And I'll just set those there, and you want the tops of the onion here to be right at the ground level. But I'm just going to separate these gently. Cluster those guys together and set that in there. And we'll set that in there. And then we will just backfill that a little bit, and you see that my puppy is very wanting to know everything that goes on that we do. She also thinks that every time I'm in the garden she's going to find more bunnies, because she was there when I found the other bunnies. So this is one of the reasons why I need to protect my plants. She also likes to dig in my garden, which is a big no-no. But she's still learning. And I'll just keep going about planting these in the rows, and we'll see how far we can get. Okay, so I got my onions all planted in here. I have 5 rows of onions. There's about 60, probably more. I just kind of guesstimated. I would love for all those to actually, I would love to actually harvest 60 good onions. That would be great. But then after I did that, I decided to plant a couple of kales. So I have some of the blue curled Scotch kales. I have a few of those there. I have some scarlet kale and some dinosaur kale that I just put in here. Just to have. And now I'm going to be putting in these arches, and this is how they're shipped. They were all, what's the, zip tie. They were zip tied together, and this is actually one hoop, and it's just fastened together. And I'll show you guys how this comes out. This was one of the biggest complaints about this thing, is that people couldn't figure out how to get this apart or something. I don't know. You know, I got these off of Amazon, and lots of people have lots of opinions on Amazon. But you just push down and pull out, I think. Get down. There we go. And then this just slides off. So it's under tension, and I was struggling there for a second, but once I pushed right in the middle, that's really the tension point. So then it springs open. You take off that cap, and then you can put it into your bed. So then I watered in all of my onions here. Or I watered in all the plants, really, not just the onions. Watered them in real well, and then I'll just be putting this up. This is going to be fairly tall because my beds are fairly narrow. But that's one hoop right there. So I'll put up a couple more, and then I'll lay my fabric over it and show you guys the end result. So as you can see here, I have it totally covered from end to end. I put some little bricks on it to hold it down in the wind, and I hope it all works out. I think it will. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm so glad to have things in the ground. That's so exciting. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you guys for stopping by today and joining in on our journey here at Bare Bones Living. We'll catch you on the next one.